So how do you deal with an editing backlog? If you're a filmmaker, a photographer, some type of creative or artist, you probably understand exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to an editing backlog. It's tough, and I think we've all been there. And what better way to start talking about it than a full day of editing ahead of me? About 9 o'clock, I'm in the office and I have an entire day filled with editing. So I literally have zero time to talk right now, but I think I'm good now. It's been 8 hours. I didn't want to bring you along for the whole editing day, so I figured I'd work the whole day and then bring you along now. So yeah, let's talk. So when it comes to having a backlog, I personally think that is something that you can control, and if you have it and you complain about it, that's your fault. And see, I know some of you are probably like, whoa, Pablo, whoa. You're like, dude, calm down. That's like super harsh, and maybe it is, but usually when I hear people talk about a backlog, a lot of the time they're in a very complainy mode. They're not happy for the fact that they have a backlog of stuff or edits or whatever it is. Wow, it's hot in here. Holy moly. AC. And if I sound a little harsh, I apologize, but the thing is that I used to be you. I used to constantly be complaining about backlogging. I used to constantly hate it, and because it was just so, it was the easiest way to kill my motivation to want to edit. And here's the thing, if you're like a person that already does this perfectly, or like you love backlogging, then this video is just not for you. But again, I'm telling you, most filmmakers, most photographers, most people that I talk to, creatives that do this kind of thing, have backlogs and they absolutely hate it. So here's the thing, if you're an editor and you're watching me right now, I need you to listen, and I need you to listen to me well. Because I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking like, Pablo, that's gonna take a lot of work, or you know, that's gonna take a lot of money. I need to hire somebody if you want me to do things faster and better. That's not the case at all. If you're an editor and you're watching, you need to rehire yourself, and you need to change the job description to work harder. And you're like, Pablo, work harder? What are you talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the times that you're looking at your phone in between edits, checking Facebook and Instagram and emails, and you're busy talking to your coworkers, or you're out for a smoke or a coffee or whatever it is you do. You can do these things, but you need to set aside time to do them and not constantly be doing them every 5 seconds when you're bored in the middle of your edits. Something that Scott's taught me and I've learned from just experience is the more that you get distracted, the longer edits are going to take. So you need to work harder too. You need to work faster. And you're like, Pablo, what are you how do I work faster? I'm working as fast as I can. You're not though. You're not though. One thing that Scott's taught me, and I can't stress it enough that he's right about it, is that there's always a faster way to do everything. And with editing, with photo, video, all this stuff, there's always a way to do it faster. And one way that you can definitely start moving faster is shortcuts on your keyboards. There's lots of ways and different things. The less your hands have to actually physically move, the better, because you're actually wasting time every time your hands have to move. But if they can stay stagnant and your fingers are moving, that is a faster way to edit. Another way is just to practice, just do it more. Like one reason that Scott and I love to vlog every day is because we have to edit very fast with the short, limited amount of time that we have every single day. And so I've been editing my vlogs daily for a few years now, it feels like, and I've been getting so incredibly fast with Final Cut, which is my editing software, because I'm doing that every single day. And so with Scott, our editing has naturally just got incredibly fast when we're actually on the job. You know, and the reason that I'm so passionate about it is because this used to be something that I was trapped by. Scott was never a backlogger necessarily, but we definitely used to have things that would sit in the queue for a little while until we got to it because we were so busy with what we currently had editing. But then we started to have conversations once we worked more and more. What would it look like if our plate was constantly clean? What would that look like if we got edits so fast? In other words, we filmed, we got the footage, we edited what we needed to, and then our turnaround time was faster every single time we had a project. What would that look like? And I'm telling you, it's changed absolutely everything. Like for example, we usually quote a bride and groom for our weddings 8 to 12 weeks. But when we started getting wedding films back to couples in 5 to 7 days, not only was that making families and couples incredibly happy because of the surprise and delight factor, but more importantly, our plates were incredibly clean the next week. We would film a wedding on a Saturday, and then by that next Saturday, it was done off our plate and delivered. That means we would start the next week ready for the next wedding film, and that was only when we were doing weddings alone. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that we started to do a lot more corporate work, so during the week, we needed to be efficient with our time time and get edits done fast. So I guess my question to you is, are you working to your max capacity? Are you working as hard as you can, as efficiently as you can, to the best of your ability and to the max capacity that you can handle? Because until we pushed the boundaries and really started to be self-aware and look at what we were doing and seeing where our time was going, we definitely were not working to our max capacity, max ability, and we're still looking for ways to work even faster and harder than we currently are. But I just wanted to bring this topic up because it changed literally our lives and our business by working with this mentality of, let me get this off my plate. And here's the thing, I want you to understand this. I don't want you to think I'm saying to sacrifice quality, because that's the last thing I want you to do. It's to work efficiently to the point where you're not wasting time, but you're never sacrificing quality. So yeah, I apologize if that was quite intense or if I was a little harsh, but I guess my final question to you is, are you working as hard as you can? Are you working as efficiently as you can? Because until Scott and I really looked internally to see that we weren't working as hard as we could be, we weren't working as efficiently as we could have been, everything changed. And now the fact that we work without having a backlog, I mean, sometimes we do, but most of the time we don't. It's changed absolutely everything. All right, so we have a meeting here. It's kind of like private information apparently, so see you tomorrow.